What if Honkai impact Dimensional Herrschers Chat room? He was reincarnated into a world teeming with dangers and tragedies as an ordinary person. Clearly, Adam seemed destined to live the life of cannon fodder, doomed to perish at the slightest hint of danger. Until, welcome to the Dimensional Chat room. His only hope arrived in the form of the chat room, a mysterious connection linking him with individuals from various dimensions and universes. Some were familiar faces, others were completely unknown. It wasn't the most powerful cheat he could have wished for, but he had to make do with what he got. At least now Adam had a chance to grow stronger and protect himself from the threats in this perilous world. And maybe, just maybe, he could venture beyond his own world and explore the vast Omniverse. Tags: Chat Room, Gray MC, Harem, Mature, Multiverse, Op MC, World Hopping. Worlds: Honkai Impact 3 RD Main. That time I got reincarnated as a slime, so I'm a spider. So what? High School DxD, Konosuba, Marvel, Doki Doki Literature Club, Madoka Magica. Chapter 5, Path Forward. After school was over, Adam was still sitting next to May with a hand under his chin, being in a daze and looking thoughtful. Adam Kuin. A voice snapped him out of his thoughts as he felt a soft hand in his shoulders. What's the matter, May-san? Adam said, confused, as he turned to look at May, who called out for him. School is over. If you haven't joined a club, you should go home. May looked at him and said in her ever-gentle voice. Adam confusedly looked around and realized that there weren't any other people present in class except the two of them. Thank you for the reminder, May-san, Adam said to her in a thankful voice. Now if you'll excuse me, I have to go, he continued, hurriedly preparing his things to get out of this classroom as soon as possible. Without looking back, he turned around to leave, but something grasped his hand and stopped him. Adam Kuin, what do you think about me? May asked in a small and embarrassed voice, hesitation breaking through her gentle voice. Adam froze in his steps, turning around and giving May a weird look that was practically saying, "Are you serious?" Nevertheless, he chose to reply with honesty. Well, you are beautiful, outgoing, and you have a good personality, Adam said in a deadpan voice, not much emotion escaping his fave. May opened her mouth to say something, but he interrupted her. But that's not what you want to hear, is it? You hear those compliments all the time. They are just empty words to you at this point, he smiled with melancholy. But I would say that you are also an intelligent, hardworking, and gentle girl. May's cheeks now had a faint pink hue as she seemed both embarrassed and surprised at what he said. She coughed and tried to regain her composure as she looked at him seriously in the eye. Then why do you pity me so much? Adam's eyes widened at that, but he instantly regained his composure. Pity? I think you are mistaken, he finished with a neutral expression. May's fist clenched at his answer, but she still insisted, I'm not dumb. I know how you look at me and you don't even hide it, she finished while biting her lower lip. Ha, troublesome. Adam muttered under his breath, appalled as a headache started aching in his head. I pity you because you look so damn lonely. Ah! May looked at him in confusion, her expression surprised. No, seriously. You are the heiress of me corporation. So you can never know if the people around you are friends with you so they can benefit from you, or if they genuinely want to be close to you because of your own personality and efforts, Adam said with a complicated expression. He wasn't lying. May became a Herrscher because she was lonely and she was at despair after everyone she called friends abandoned her. Is that why you pity me? May questioned him in dazed voice, her indigo eyes having a hazy look. Adam looked at her with a complicated emotion in his eyes. No matter how much he tried, he still couldn't stop the knowledge of her fate that appeared in his head every time he saw this girl up close. You know, he started, there was a saying back where I was from, that the higher one is in life, the deeper they can fall, he finished. Also, it takes one mistake for everything to go wrong. People will ignore all the other good things you did and only focus on that one bad thing. You are just a normal heiress, so you don't have much to worry about for now. I only pity you for, well, you'll know in the future. May looked speechless and thoughtful as he finished his rant, and he didn't bother to snap her out of her daze. Goodbye, May-san, see you tomorrow. Adam waved goodbye at her and left. Adam was currently in his room holding a notepad and focusing on writing every method he knew to get stronger in this world. His first interaction with May today made him feel that he was in danger. The third eruption is months away, so he doesn't have much time. The only thing he can do now outside the chat room is find actual ways to get stronger in his world. He had written a lot of ideas for powers and items that he could use to enhance himself further. These are Stigmata, Herrscher cores and gems, mantis surgery, divine keys, battle suits. Stigmata's powers are derived from the previous era. The Kaslana stigmata has the blood of Kevin, who is a mantis, and has the Honkai beast gene of Parvati, which Adam can easily devour directly with his ability. Other stigmata like May's stigmata or Seely's stigmata are derived from the Herrschers of the previous era, and they are infused with their powers and memories, so that's a no-go for him. Herrscher cores and gems are more complicated. There are 4 Herrscher gems in this world, and 3 of those are in the hands of Schicksal and 1 is in the hands of anti-entropy. The gem of serenity and the gem of haste is still in Schicksal. The gem of desire is in a branch of Schicksal and is being used for experiments on Valkyries in hopes of making an artificial Herrscher, and the gem of conquest is inside May right now, and it will become the core of thunder in the upcoming Honkai eruption. All of these are a no-go. He will leave the gem of serenity for Seely to become the Herrscher of death because it suits her. As for the gem of haste and the gem of desire, well, the first will be used by Kiana to become the Herrscher of Flame Scion, but the second may be up for grabs after Wendy's death. As for becoming a Herrscher directly, well, he knows all the people who will become Herrschers in the future, and it is a bit difficult to replace them. The only way to become a Herrscher is to go to Welt Yang and convince him to give up his core, which is pretty difficult. He isn't really as passionate in fighting for humanity as him, nor is he too thrilled to manage a huge organization like Anti-Entropy, although anyone would be pleased with that kind of organization at their beck and call. He feels that it's too troublesome and not worth the effort and dedication. As for mantis surgery, Adam already had a mantis surgery one from the chat room, no less. Divine keys are weapons from the previous era made with the core of a Herrscher and Selenum, and while they are powerful, they can't compare to the might of a Herrscher. Not to mention the difficulty in obtaining one. Battle suits. Forget it. Adam doesn't want to rely on something external that will last him only for a time before he gets stronger, like armor. And finally, Adam looked at the last entry that he wrote down. Knowledge. Yes, knowledge is a way to get stronger too. Examples of this are Mobius, Dr. May Otto, and Walter Young. Herrschers are the embodiment of a physical rule. For example, the Herrscher of Thunder, her power isn't to control lightning, but her power is to control electromagnetic waves, one of the 4 fundamental forces of the universe, like the strong force, the weak force, and gravity. Give the core of thunder to someone like Dr. May or Tesla, and civilization and humanity in general is doomed. The Herrscher of the Void can literally traverse dimensions, create world bubbles, and cut anything and anyone as long as they don't have defenses for space attacks. And what does Serin with such power? She throws spears around and creates portals here and there. Honestly, Adam never really understood why the main cast didn't learn more about their powers and how to use them with science. If they did, it will solve a lot of troubles and make their life a lot easier by themselves becoming stronger. Adam never underestimated the power of knowledge after he saw a fan fiction where the main character became a multiversal level god with some copy eyes and the Herrscher core of reason. That's why after he finished writing ideas in his notebook and realizing none of them are feasible for now except knowledge, he immediately started reading and studying about anything he could find, whether it is physics, science, biology, or even chemistry. This is his path forward from now on. That is how he will improve his chances of surviving in this world. In his previous life, he was satisfied with knowing the basics of how the world works, but now that knowledge isn't enough, so he would make damn sure that he learns all the knowledge the internet has to offer. It is for survival after all. Chapter 6, First Death. Adam was currently studying. Not studying for school, but studying all the knowledge he could find on the internet. Chat room member advocate of gender equality has died. His mouth went agape and his eyes widened. But that's all Adam could say to express his feelings right now. Although he didn't particularly care as this member somewhat was rude, he still opened up the chat room. Awkward silence was present until, "Exhibitionist, did he just die? I'm a slime, so what? That was true? He actually died?" He could probably guess from the surprise of the two that they hadn't experienced much death and hadn't seen the darker side of the world. Rimuru is a pacifist and Rias is naive. Not to say that Adam had experienced it himself, even though he was aware that every world had darkness in its own unique way. Schizophrenic spider, apparently that's the case. Unlike the previous two, the cute spider seemed indifferent to this event. This didn't surprise Adam, as the spider is trapped in the dungeon and is forced to kill and eat her enemies to get stronger. Sentient game character, rest in peace? Monica also didn't care, although it shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone. Monica was quite the psychopath. If she didn't bat an eye when killing her own friends, then why should she care for a stranger? Exhibitionist, you two don't care? If this is true, then the person I was just having a conversation yesterday just died. Schizophrenic spider, oh, I've seen a lot of death in this dungeon and I don't even know him. I'm a slime, so what? Although I feel bad for him, I've already died once, so I'm desensitized. Sentient game character, well, he was quite rude, so it serves him right. Adam looked at the messages of the members before hesitating a little and finally writing. Devourer, I'm with the cute spider on this one. I don't know him, so I don't care, but it is indeed quite surprising as it hasn't even been that long yet. Schizophrenic spider cute? Oops, Adam let his habit get out of hand. I'm slime, so what? We drew first blood on just day 2. Exhibitionist, are you taking this as a game? Devourer, calm down, princess. Even if we want to do anything, we can't reach him now. Sentient game character, too late, he's already dead. Exhibitionist, still there must be something that we can do, maybe if I sent him an evil piece? What an innocent and caring girl. Adam looked at the naive message of Rias before shaking his head and replying. Devourer, I don't really know how this goes, but ahem, Nagazora City, yay shrine. Exhibitionist, eh? Is this a Shinto shrine? Devourer, although there isn't much to be said about this particular member, we are still gathered here today to commemorate his honorable death. Exhibitionist, ah? That shrine reminds me of Akino's. Wait, that's not the point. Devourer, so our purpose is to welcome him to the afterlife, although I'll probably forget him after this moment. Exhibitionist, are you serious? Sentient game character, he is serious. Devourer, so before we have this moment of silence for him, does anyone want to say anything regarding our fallen comrade? Exhibitionist. Schizophrenic spider, he died young? I'm a slime, so what? He indeed looked quite young, but maybe he was an old man in disguise? It should be so with his grumpy messages. Sentient game character, he should stay dead. Exhibitionist, I give up. Advocate of gender equality, don't act like I'm dead, you bastards. Schizophrenic spider, ghost. The spider who was in her cave lying in her bed made of spider silk suddenly screamed. Advocate of gender equality, you bastards, where the fuck do you see me dead? Sentient game character, see the message log. I'm a slime, so what? Look at the death message. Schizophrenic spider, scroll up and see for yourself, idiot. Advocate of gender equality. Exhibitionist, what happened? Did you actually go to the afterlife of a pantheon? Advocate of gender equality, I don't know, I saved a girl from a truck, then I blacked out, now I'm in a dark place sitting on a chair while the screen is floating in front of me, just what the hell is going on? Devourer, huh? A truck, really? Adam, who was in his own room now, actually wondered if Truck Kuin was real. Although he didn't die by a truck, he didn't want to immediately reject this possibility. Exhibitionist, ah? That actually reminds me of Ice Guy anime, or you could actually be in the afterlife, maybe Yomi. Devourer, okay, righteous guy, maybe you are in a place out of reach, so the chat room automatically activated portable mode. Advocate of gender equality, what is portable mode? Devourer, I will explain later, but for now you should activate the streaming mode so we can understand the situation. Advocate of gender equality, huh? Where is it? Oh, I found it. Hey, there is someone else here. Advocate of gender equality has activated the streaming function. Do you wish to join? Adam looked at the option before he chose yes, and a new screen appeared in his vision. Oh, so it's this guy, he's weak and not really important, so I completely forgot about him. Adam looked at the boy sitting on the chair, the blue-haired woman talking to him. The boy had brown hair and green eyes while wearing a track suit. The woman was beautiful with long blue hair and aqua blue eyes. The useless duo Kazuma and Aqua from Konosuba, Adam thought with a bit of relief as he was glad that there was another boy in the chat room except him. What? Rimuru, you say? Rimuru is a genderless slime and his preferred form is a loli, so he doesn't count. Unfortunately, you passed away moments ago, the beautiful blue-haired woman said as a new message flashed in the chat room. Advocate of gender equality, is it me, or is this girl not wearing any underwear? Devourer, it's not just you, she indeed isn't wearing underwear. Schizophrenic spider, why you guys are so perverted. Advocate of gender equality, it's this girl's fault for not wearing any. Sentient game character, focus on the important stuff otherwise. Hey, are you listening to me? Aqua said, trying to draw Kazuma's attention. Anyway, your life was unfortunately cut short, but you were in fact dead, Aqua casually said with a smile that certainly wasn't solemn. Kazuma's breath hitched as he was shocked by this. His mind was rapidly going through a lot of thoughts in order to process that, but before he could feel emotional about his death, his vision flashed. Devourer, first death after a day, that's a new record. Schizophrenic spider, he actually died young. Kazuma's eyebrows twitched upon reading that, so he took a deep breath to calm himself down before looking at Aqua. What about the girl I pushed out of the way? he asked with a bit of hope in his voice. A message flashed yet again in his vision. Devourer, prepare yourself, reality is often disappointing. Kazuma didn't understand this message. She's alive, Aqua said, calming him down. Kazuma sighed in relief that his life wasn't in vain. Actually, she would have been fine even if you didn't push her, Aqua said as Kazuma's eyes widened, her words making him understand Devourer's message from before. That tractor was going to stop before hitting her, Aqua continued. Wait, a tractor? Kazuma asked in surprise as he obviously didn't expect that even though he was right in front of that vehicle. Yes, it was a tractor. Then how did I die? Was I hit by the tractor? He asked in confusion. Now you died, PFFFFF, from the shock you mistakenly thought a truck run over you, PFFFF. Aqua bursted out laughing at the poor boy's luck. Why, you know, hee, this is the first time I have seen something like this, ha 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 ha, Aqua continued while giggling without any mercy at the poor boy's expense. I get it, stop, I don't want to hear it. Kazuma screamed as his whole face was flushed in either embarrassment or anger or both. At this point, Kazuma wanted to find a hole to bury himself in. Devourer, what a unique and pathetic way to go. Adam, who was sitting on his sofa, wrote seriously, but his lips were madly twitching, trying to contain himself. Exhibitionist, I know it's wrong to laugh at someone's death, but hee, this is funny. Sentient game character, wow, this is even more pathetic than getting deleted. I'm a slime, so what? At least I got stabbed. I think even I deserve more respect than you. Schizophrenic spider, I died by a blast bee, but why your death I is? The spider in her silk bed was trying her best not to laugh. Hee, the pink and white creature's creepy but cute laugh echoed out in the cave. She burst out laughing as even she couldn't control herself. Bastards, Kazuma screamed loudly in indignation as he just now realized that all the people on this chat room learned how he died. Hee, your family reached the hospital and now they are also laughing because of your death, Aqua said, hitting the last nail to the coffin as Kazuma was dying again from embarrassment and anger. Anyway, Aqua stopped laughing at him, then proceeded to explain that she was a goddess and she was giving him two choices. Her lips were still twitching as she explained this thought. It was as if she was holding herself back from bursting out laughing again. Sentient game character, eh? She's a goddess? I'm a slime, so what? God? Can I eat her? Even from the screen, Adam shivered as he could still feel the slime's hunger. Exhibitionist god? From which pantheon is she from? Devourer, you are overestimating her. She is just a water goddess that isn't even that strong. In fact, I would dare say that she couldn't resist Slime-chan from eating her. I'm a slime, so what? So if I eat her, will I become a slime goddess? Schizophrenic spider, so she is actually a god, but a really weak one. Devourer, it differs from world to world. My world, for example, will eventually face 13 of them, and while they call themselves gods, they are just humans with powers that can destroy cities. Devourer, well, maybe except the last one, she could destroy the planet with a wave of her hands. In his apartment complex, Adam had depression just thinking about the might of a Herrscher who could use her powers competently, not to mention the being that is false god Otto. Then there is also salvation Kevin and finality Kiana. Adam trembled just thinking about facing those monsters with his meager power. Exhibitionist, destroy the earth? Well, my brother could do that if he really wanted to, but he would be killed by the other factions ganging up on him, just like the heavenly dragons in the past. Sentient game character, don't worry, Devourer, when I visit your world, I will delete these so-called gods of your world. Devourer, while I appreciate it, you won't be able to do it, so for now you should focus on the livestream. So we have a deal for you. Aqua moved back before explaining, you like games, don't you? Aqua proceeded to explain the threat of the Demon Lord and that he could be Ice-Gade to save the world. Devourer sounds very Susie to me. Exhibitionist, eh? It is beginning to sound more and more like an Ice Guy anime. Sentient game character, it's really suspicious. It almost sounds like a scam. I'm a slime, so what? Eh? Will he be Ice-Gade to another world? Schizophrenic spider, huh? Will he go to another world? At least he will stay human. What about my survival? Kazuma asked, obviously worried that he will go to a dangerous world without any cheats. Don't worry, we will give a power of your choice from the ones you see on these, Aqua said in a confident tone as she opened her arms wide while some cards appeared out of nowhere. Whoa, these things got to be very powerful, Kazuma thought while he was checking these powers. Devourer, before you choose, do remember that reality is often disappointing. Advocate of gender equality, damn, can't you just let me choose in peace? Can you hurry up? Nobody is expecting anything from a shut-in otaku like you anyway, Aqua said as she openly mocked Kazuma. I'm not a shut-in, I died outside while trying to save someone, Kazuma defended himself as he snapped at her mocking words. But Aqua didn't care, she started pestering him to choose quickly as not to waste any of her time. Why you bitch, Kazuma said in rage as he started glaring at Aqua with fury in his eyes. Devourer, hey calm down, don't do something you'll regret, he isn't listening, right? Exhibitionist, I don't think so, I think he lost it. I can choose one thing to take, right? Kazuma stood up with an air of confidence around him while Aqua nodded. Then he started, I choose you, Kazuma said in a clear and confident voice while pointing at Aqua. He was like choosing a Pokemon. Devourer, congratulations on choosing a water-type Pokemon, but unlike the rest, this one is just a useless goddess. Exhibitionist, although she is a weak god, she is still a god, so it shouldn't be that bad, right? What? Kazuma didn't have time to question the message as beneath the seat where Aqua was sitting a magic circle appeared. Then you can leave from the magic circle, Aqua said on instinct before she noticed something was wrong. Huh? What did you choose again? She questioned in confusion. As Aqua was still processing his words, an angel appeared behind her. Aqua-sama, you shall teleport to another world with this boy, she announced. What's going on? You can't be serious, right? Aqua inquired in worry as she saw the magic circle under her feet. This has been a joke, this must be illegal. Aqua screamed at the angel that appeared behind her. This has been approved by the other gods, so have a safe trip, Aqua-sama. When you defeat the demon lord, we shall send someone to take you back, the angel said as she smiled innocently. I'm a goddess who can only heal people, I can't fight, how can I defeat the demon lord? Aqua said, hoping that she could convince her, but the angel kept smiling despite her ramblings. Exhibitionist, if the gods of my world are like this, then I have completely lost hope. Rias couldn't believe that a god could act like this, but she hoped that maybe it was something unique only to that world. How does it feel? This is what you get for treating me like an idiot. Kazuma smiled in victory and arrogance before saying, I'll take you with me, so I could use your godly powers to make my life easy. And oh, Aqua screamed in despair while Kazuma started laughing like a maniac. But at this moment, he also got a message from the chat room. Devourer, you just made a huge mistake, and while normally I would encourage you to take risks and learn from your mistakes, but you did something incredibly stupid. Huh? What do you mean by th? Kazuma tried to ask as he knew this guy wouldn't say that without a reason, but his words were cut off when the magic circle under him flashed a bright light. When the light receded, he was gone. The screen in front of Adam changed into one that showed a medieval town which had fantasy elements incorporated in it, making it feel like it was taken straight out of an anime. Advocate of gender equality is alive. Kazuma along with Aqua were standing on some green grass as they looked at their surroundings in amazement, but suddenly the chat room that he was previously ignoring appeared again in his vision. Devourer, welcome to God's blessing on this wonderful land. I hope you enjoy your stay, idiot. Chapter 7. New Friendship. The sky was clear as the clouds gave away space for the sun to shine down on the horizon. There was a medieval town, but unlike what was commonly seen, this one has a peaceful atmosphere because it's a town where beginners usually start their journey on this world. On the side of a road of axle, a wagon passed by, revealing Kazuma and Aqua with vastly different expressions on their faces. Aqua lowered her head, her long hair covering her eyes as the air around her was gloomy, as she tried to come to terms with what happened to her. Meanwhile, Kazuma was looking at the air with an angry expression on his face like a madman. He was currently preoccupied by the holographic screen that no one but him could see. Advocate of gender equality. I don't know what that means, but if it came from you, it's probably something offensive. Devourer, you don't know that, then how did you know Pokemon then? Adam frowned at that. When he wrote the Pokemon joke, Kazuma seemed to get it. But now it seems that he either hasn't watched some anime or they don't exist in his world. I originally thought that every word has completely different anime, but now it seems that's not entirely the case, Adam concluded. Advocate of gender equality. Who the hell doesn't know Pokemon? Do you think I lived under a rock? It seems that I was right. Adam thought before he saw a message again. Advocate of gender equality, but why are you asking unrelated questions? Can you first explain this screen? Maybe worlds can influence one another on a small scale, Adam once again theorized before he wrote a message. Devourer. In simple words, this chat room connects different users from different worlds and lets us communicate with each other. There is also a shop that lets us buy things that can be helpful to us, but that's not important for now. Advocate of gender equality. Different worlds like this one. Devourer, something like that, but much more complicated. But now I want to confirm something, so I have a few things to ask you. Answer as fast as you can. Advocate of gender equality. What? Devourer. People die if. Advocate of gender equality. How they are killed. Kazuma didn't understand where this was going, but he answered anyway. Devourer, just because you were correct. Advocate of gender equality. Doesn't mean you are right. Kazuma answered faster this time while some of other members understood what's going on. Sentient game character. What is happening? Exhibitionist. Ooh, is this the secret code of otakus? Imma slime, so what? I see, I understand. Schizophrenic spider. Hey, I want to join too. Kazuma and Adam kept going on with a lot of anime quotes with a speed that other members took a lot of effort to keep up with. Devourer, if you don't take risks. Advocate of gender equality. You can't create a future. Devourer. Alright, last question. You thought this was your second chance at life. This time Kazuma didn't choose to write in the chat, but he faced the camera of the broadcast in real life and pointed to his face with his thumb. But it was me, Kazuma, he screamed while Aqua, who was having an existential crisis, finally snapped out of her daze after hearing his shout. Devourer, it seems that you really are a man of culture. Advocate of gender equality, I never really thought I'll meet a fellow comrade, one who is also a jerk. Devourer, oh, you have crossed the line and not a jerk, you gender equality guy. Advocate of gender equality. Honestly, this nickname isn't so bad now that I think about it. I have no problem attacking a girl. Devourer, I guess I'm the same. If a girl hits me, I would slap her until she begs for forgiveness. Advocate of gender equality. Oh yeah, then I wouldn't hesitate to dropkick and start punching. Both of them started talking about the gender equality of both males and females while the other chat room's members started getting uncomfortable. Schizophrenic spider, I'm suddenly feeling very unsafe in this chat room. I'm a slime, so what? Exhibitionist. I think I want to stay away as far as possible from these two. Sentient game character. Ooh, Devourer, you can hit me as much as you want. Devourer. Ahem. Devourer. Adam. Advocate of gender equality. Kazuma. Sentient game character. What did I just witness? I'm a slime, so what? The beginning of a beautiful friendship. While Kazuma started writing in the chat room again, Aqua got impatient as she interrupted him by shaking him and proceeding to scream. Stop it. Kazuma tried to get Aqua off him, but she just kept sticking to him like a koala with tears in her blue eyes. I get it, okay, I'm sorry, Kazuma said with a little regret before finally pushing Aqua away. If you hate it so much, just go back to your home, Kazuma said in an exasperated tone, as it was the most obvious thing. I can figure the rest myself anyway, Kazuma said with a voice filled with certainty and confidence. Devourer. You're a noob-level cannon fodder without any combat experience. You'll die by the first LV1 mob you'll meet. Advocate of gender equality. Shut up, bastard, like you are any better. Devourer. Well, you are right for now. But this won't last for long. Exhibitionist. I feel that there is no room for us to intervene in this conversation. Sentient game character. Same, but as long as everything is okay. I have to leave in order to code some things, so goodbye. The cute spider didn't answer as she was currently snacking on a monster while intently watching the conversation between Adam and Kazuma with interest evident in her 8 eyes. What are you saying? I can't go back. What do you expect me to do now? Aqua said before crying even more intensely. Kazuma looked at Aqua calmly before saying, all right, calm down, goddess. His confident voice was enough to calm down the useless goddess temporarily. At times like this, we need to go to the Adventurers Guild and obtain information. This is the normal thing in most RPGs. When did you become so dependable? Aqua asked, suddenly surprised at Kazuma's change. Kazuma's eyebrows twitched at that as he stared at her with a glare, opting to choose silence. How do you know where the guild is? Kazuma sighed as he said that in an exasperated tone. I'm a goddess. Why would I care about the affairs of mortals? Useless bitch, Kazuma thought as he once again glared at Aqua before deciding to walk forward and try to find the guild. If he didn't, he would go ask the residents of this town. Hey, wait for me, Aqua shouted as she quickly followed Kazuma. Devourer, hey, equality guy. Need some help? Kazuma stared at the message that flashed in surprise. Advocate of gender equality. Is the world ending? Otherwise someone like you would never help anyone. So tell me what you want. Even if they didn't know each other for a long time, Kazuma already knew that this guy would never help someone out of the goodness of his own heart without getting anything in return. Devourer, what am want? Haven't you thought that maybe I genuinely want to help you? Advocate of gender equality. Bullshit. Devourer. Well, even if I wanted something in return, you wouldn't have what I want. Adam, who was looking at the Me Corporation from his window with a thoughtful expression, decided in his heart before writing. He didn't know if it was worth the risk, but maybe he could manage to do it. Devourer. Maybe it was because I was moved by what you did, or maybe I want my new friend to stay safe until he gets stronger. But it might also be the same reason you put yourself in front of that girl. Advocate of gender equality. My reason. Kazuma didn't finish his words because inwardly he understood what his reason was. Devourer. Why I want to help you doesn't matter anyway. What matters is your answer. Kazuma, who was walking, suddenly stopped in his tracks. Hey, what happened? Aqua, who almost bumped on him, suddenly asked, but Kazuma ignored her before he took a deep breath and answered. Advocate of gender equality. I accept. But I want something simple like a weapon. Adam, who saw the message, smiled in satisfaction at that. Devourer, good. You don't want to rely on something external. After I finish my plan, I will send you a sword or something. Exhibitionist. I was following your conversation for a while, but I have to ask, is there actually a way to help him? Devourer, there's gift functions so we can send items between members. Exhibitionist. Oh, I see. But what are you planning on sending him? Devourer, well, I was going to send him some guns, some shields, maybe a sword that can freeze anything it comes contact with. But he refused. Maybe this guy isn't the bad Kazuma thought before he realized something was wrong. Advocate, can I choose again? Devourer, No. Advocate of gender equality, give me back my feelings, you bastard. Advocate of gender equality finished streaming and got 50 points. Damn, I'll never try to act cool again. Kazuma started sulking after he knew that he missed such an opportunity. Well, at least it won't be a normal weapon. Right, he tried comforting himself with the hope of a cool sword or something similar. Chapter 8, Encounter. It has been 5 days since Adam obtained the chat room, and besides occasionally chatting with the members, signing in to get points every day, going to school and interacting with May, his life hasn't been that eventful. After his last conversation with May, she started talking to him more often and began trying to befriend him, and despite his unapproachable aura, he was thankful for the chance to make friends. Even though he doesn't show it, Adam is lonely, especially in this world full of dangers and tragedies. So he is thankful for the chance of making genuine friends, even though it won't last long and his friend will be the reason for the destruction of a city. Still, he promised Kazuma and he kept his promise and sent a sword, although despite being of excellent quality and craftsmanship, it was still a normal sword. As for what his reaction was. Advocate of gender equality. Fuck, did you scummy bastard, this is just a normal sword. Hey, it is enough for him, Adam said to himself. He contemplated robbing the Me Corporation for the special Honkai swords and guns that they had built like he once saw in a fanfiction, but after much contemplation he scraped that idea. Reality was not fiction after all. Although he was stronger than ordinary people, he had neither information nor training to do something as bold as robbing such a huge corporation. When did I become like this? Adam muttered while looking at the clouds in the sky. In his previous life, he didn't even dare to imagine robbing such a big corporation. Was it because of my death, or was I always like this and hid this side of myself? Adam closed his eyes while feeling the gentle caress of the wind against his face. It doesn't matter whether I'm a villain or a hero, I guess in the end, as long I don't lose myself in the process, then I won't question it too much. Adam sighed with emotion. There were a lot of reasons for his change. Maybe his death affected him more than he thought, or maybe having knowledge of the future became an unexpected curse. A lot of people say that ignorance is bliss after all. His previous life felt fake, and unlike Monica, he had no dreams, no ambitions, no desires. He just felt content living and doing what he loved. Why would he want to aim higher when he already lived a happy and content life? Everyone would die someday, and he would die without regrets when his time came, so it didn't matter if he had little more money or had sex more times at the end. That's the reason he wanted to help Kazuma. He saw himself in him. Just two guys that were living a content yet bland life, but they got disappointed in the end and got a second chance to live, so why not live their second life to the fullest? Bam! It was at this moment that a loud sound broke Adam out of his deep daze. Maybe a thief, Adam muttered while walking slowly towards the sound sneakily. He was currently in his dormitory, so some other student making the sound was impossible as he was the only male living here. He reached the door, which seemed to be opened by force, and he peeked inside with his guard up, and he saw a beautiful white-haired, blue-eyed girl looking around the dorm. Huh, Adam exclaimed in a dry tone, but apparently the white-haired girl heard him and turned to look at him with vigilance evident in her ocean blue eyes. Who are you? The white-haired girl questioned him. I live here, Adam responded in a deadpan tone once again. Oh, the girl let out a sound while her mouth morphed into an O shape. Can I live here? The girl sheepishly asked while rubbing the back of her head. Adam suddenly had an urge to tease the silly-looking girl. Well, Adam crossed his hands in front of his chest. First you have to pay for the damages you caused to the door, he said with a serious expression while pointing at the broken door. I don't worry, how much is it? The white-haired girl cheerfully asked without any worry. Well, the security system on that door was quite advanced, so if had to speculate, I would say it is 10 million yen. Wah! You also have to pay for emotional damage that you caused me, so that sets you up for 100 million yen. Adam finished talking with a serious face. The white-haired girl's smile froze at this point. Why you what emotional damage are you saying? The white-haired girl questioned him with an angry voice. Of course it's for breaking into a man's house. Didn't your father teach you that it's not appropriate? Adam said in a questioning tone. Humph, that stinky old man only taught me how to flirt with girls and beat boys like you, the girl pridefully said with her hands on her hips while looking at him. Grubble. The girl's entire face heated up and became red, unlike her previous pale complexion. Aye. So you are hungry? Adam asked with an amused smile on his face. Why yes, I haven't eaten in a while, the girl sheepishly said while rubbing her stomach. Ha, I see. Come with me, Adam said and turned around to leave. The girl was confused but still instinctively followed him without any vigilance. I don't have ingredients to cook for 2 people, so it's better to go to a restaurant, Adam said while walking towards a particular restaurant he liked eating at when he didn't want to cook. And yes, he could cook. No, he wasn't as good as the Herrscher of cooking May, but he was still quite decent. Are you really taking me out to eat? The girl asked, surprised. Adam turned his head and looked at her. Of course. I'm not so heartless as to let a pretty girl starve, he finished. Humph, then you should give me food every day from now on, the white-haired girl said with a bright smile and with her hands on her hips. Of course I will also feed you every day from now on if you want, Adam said in his ever-present serious voice. Hey anyway. What's your name? Adam asked. Oh, I'm Kiana. Kaslana, the now-named Kiana replied in a cheerful voice with a bright smile. Adam looked at her weirdly because even though he knew it was her from the moment he saw her, he was still surprised that the game's protagonist was right in front of him in the flesh. It might be that he was very familiar with her, but they were getting along well even though they just met. I see. My name Adam, he replied as they reached the restaurant and went inside. I want a table for 2 people please, he said to waitress that was standing next to the entrance. The waitress nodded at him and beckoned both of them to sit at a place that was at the back of the restaurant where they could chat unbothered. Adam stared blankly at the mass of empty plates on the table as Kiana finished her last meal. Kiana voiced out without any sort of embarrassment. So Kiana, Adam started as he got her attention. Why did you break into my dorm? He continued with curiosity in his voice. Well, I wanted to find a place to live in, Kiana said with an embarrassed expression. Then why did you break into the male dormitory? Hey, I thought it was abandoned, okay? Kiana raised her voice while pouting. I see. Then where are your parents? Adam asked even though he knew the answer. Humph, that stinky old man left me, Kiana said while stomping her feet on the ground below the table. Oh, did he leave so you could mature? Are you calling me stupid? Kiana said in a surprised voice while tilting her head cutely. No, Adam said you are more like a tuna, he continued. Who are you calling a tuna? You. Who else? Damn you jerk, and I thought you were a good guy. I am only a good guy to beautiful girls, Adam said with a smile. How didn't you say I was a beautiful girl? Kiana said in a confused voice. MHN, I said you are pretty, not beautiful, Adam said in a mocking tone. What's the difference? They continued to bicker with each. Well, more like Adam teasing Kiana and her getting irritated with him. Kiana, I'm the only person living here, so you can stay in this room from now, Adam said to Kiana with a warm smile, while showing her a place that she could live in which was conveniently just besides his. They returned from the restaurant, and while Adam preferred living alone, he wouldn't say no to Kiana living besides him. She's the protagonist after all, maybe some of her plot armor will affect him too and make it easier for him to survive. Okay, thank you Adam senpai, Kiana smiled cheerfully at him. Adam chuckled at her, don't mention it. She now began calling him senpai. Although they often bickered at the restaurant, it wasn't malicious, no, if anything it brought them closer because of the ease they could communicate with each other. Anyway, Kiana, you can use this money to buy food. Although you can come to my dorm if you want me to cook for you, it's still not good for a man and a woman to be alone in a room at night, Adam said while putting a marginal amount of money on the table. Do you have any bad intentions towards me? Kiana asked innocently while tilting her head to the side. No, I don't. But it won't be good if someone found out. They could misunderstand us after all, Adam replied in a serious voice. I don't understand, Kiana scratched the back of her head in confusion. Forget it. In short, you can come to my dorm if you want me to cook for you, Adam said exasperated. Okay, Kiana said with an excited smile. Anyway, I have school tomorrow, so goodbye for now, Adam said while waving at her. Goodbye Adam senpai, Kiana said while waving back at him. While going back to his own room, Adam's mood was complicated. On one hand, he was happy that he met Kiana because nobody could hate such a cheerful girl. But on the other hand, Kiana's arrival here means that Mei's father would soon be framed and put to prison by Cocolia, which would put forth the events that would lead to the third Honkai eruption and then the start of the story of the game. He felt that he was unprepared even though he was preparing all his second life for the inevitable events that would take place in the future. He was still nervous. Of course, it wasn't as if he was under any immediate threat. After all, most threats and tragedies beyond the 3 Honkai eruption are at least 3 years away, so he has a lot of time to plan, prepare, and get stronger. Adam stopped those thoughts when he reached his own room, and as he entered the place he remembered that he needed to buy more ingredients in case that glutton Kiana was bored of eating instant noodles and came to him for food. When he thought of that, he decided to put a white sleeveless white shirt and gray pants. His muscles could still be seen underneath his clothing even though he didn't have his new genetically modified body for more than 5 days. He made more progress working out than he did in 5 months with a normal human body. Truly becoming a mantis, even a fake half-baked one, improved his body's potential by a huge margin. His muscles didn't even grow in volume, but he felt that their density has increased tremendously to a level normally impossible. Adam didn't ponder for longer. The intricacies of those things eluded him, so he didn't particularly care. Adam was walking back to his dormitory with grocery bags on both of his hands, when suddenly, help! A scream of a woman sounded in his ears. Now don't get him wrong, Adam would normally ignore it and keep walking without batting an eye, as it didn't particularly have anything to do with him. It's none of my business after all. But my intuition. His intuition was telling him that this one was important. And no, it wasn't any supernatural instinct or something like that. It was just a gut feeling telling him that ignoring this would be a mistake. In his previous life, Adam always listened to his gut feeling and his intuition. It was something that saved him a lot of trouble and made him avoid a lot of unfavorable situations. It doesn't matter. Let's just do my good deed for the decade. Adam voiced out to no one in particular. Adam took a turn towards the alley that he heard the scream from and walked towards it. You bitch, you should have listened to me. Now obediently do as I say, otherwise your parents will pay. He saw a girl leading 2 guys and having them surround another girl that was on her knees on both sides. The girl who was ordering the boys had a furious expression on her face. She was pointing at the girl on her knees. Ha ha ha, I think it's better for you to take a beating. Maybe you will learn your lesson then. The girl ordered the guys to beat the girl. Plop! Just as they were about to punch the girl, the boy on the right side fell unconscious. The other boy turned his head towards the direction of his former comrade and saw a punch heading towards his face. The boy screamed as he fell to the ground. Adam has practiced martial arts since he was little, and combined with his beyond human body, it was no surprise that such a result would occur. Who the fuck are you? The girl said, outraged, seeing someone interrupted her and how her 2 lackeys were beaten so easily. Who I am doesn't matter. Adam replied to her with a nonchalant expression. I'm warning you, my parents are high-ranking figures. If you don't leave, I will ruin your life. The girl ignored his reply and started threatening him. Adam started walking towards her. Hey, you are handsome. Maybe if you become my boyfriend, I will let this go. The girl continued babbling nonsense. I'm beautiful, so why don't you come and lick my face? The girl was suddenly interrupted by a punch to the stomach. You get lost. Adam spoke before she could continue. Wah, get your dogs and get lost. Adam once again interrupted mercilessly with a cold tone. The girl gritted her teeth before finally getting the boy who was awake to carry the other one and leaving. You'll regret this. The girl left a final warning to him. Adam shook his head at that. Doesn't matter, you will die in a few months' time. Adam didn't care about the girl's threat. She will die in the upcoming Honkai eruption. Even if she didn't, she couldn't do anything to him anyway. He is an orphan and he is not a normal person anymore who would get threatened by normal firearms. It's just made him realize that this is a female-dominated world. Even some roles such as hooligans were reversed due to the absence of the male gender. Thank you, a girl's stuttering voice brought him out of his thoughts. Adam looked at the girl. She was a girl of a modest physique with light purple hair and green eyes. To him, though, compared with beauties like Kiana and Mei, she didn't look impressive. Don't thank me, just get stronger so this doesn't again, Adam said to her in a neutral voice before turning his back on her and leaving the alley they were in. I wonder if she is someone important, he wondered. Maybe she was one of those side characters in the game's manga that MiHoYo released on their website. Or maybe she was a character from those short stories in the game, he couldn't tell. Or she is just a random girl. It didn't matter, he supposes. He saved her today, so Adam hopes that this goodwill will keep her from becoming his enemy in the future. But now that he completed his errands, it was time to go to his dormitory.